Hello all you delectable people of the internet, hope you're all doing delightful. Today we are going to be doing a bit more work and checking some stuff out on Project Commocon, our Barra+T powered VT Commodore with a VX body kit and headlight hybrid combo. Today we're going to put this thing up on the hoist and find out exactly how much of a mistake I've made by purchasing this thing. So for those of you that don't know about this car, please make sure you go back and check out my first video. It explains on how we came about acquiring this car. And in that first video, we went through and fixed up and repaired a whole bunch of stuff on the ground on this thing, from interior to engine bay, including like replacing missing bolts, rocket cover gasket plugs, a whole bunch of stuff. Just go back and watch it because it's too much for me to remember. So we went through and did a whole bunch of stuff in that regard. Since then, nothing much has really happened. Found out that the thing does have a wicked current draw problem. We put a new battery in it in the last episode, a couple of days. After that, I went to start the car and everything was completely dead. So I've charged the battery up and I've just been disconnecting it when I'm not moving the car around. And that has been probably close to 4 weeks since we did work on this last. And there's also a couple of braces on the inlet manifold that go down to the block that we're missing. Surprise, surprise. So I was able to obtain them and I've installed them. So besides that, nothing else has really happened. So now we've got it set up on the hoist. We're going to lift it up and actually have a good look over this thing to find out how bad underneath it is. If the top stuff was anything to go by, this is going to be interesting. I do know he said he's running an AU tail shaft and he's used a pinion yoke flange off an AU diff on this diff, and this diff apparently is a VX VY SS manual diff, so apparently it's an LSD. It should have 346 gears or 345 gears. No, I think 346. So we'll just go through and have a look. If there's stuff that we can do while we've got it up in the air, we will, because we do have a little bit of time today. Actually, I wouldn't mind by checking the brake fluid to start with, because the brake pedal on this thing is almost on the floor. So come along for the journey on that. That's already a good sign. Okay, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see any of that. Yeah, let's just lift it up and get it checked out. Got the thing up to wheel height, just checking a few things. Front wheel bearings feel good. They're not super common on Commodores. Looking through the wheels, does look like there is a fair bit of outer pad left on the front brakes. Struts do not appear to be leaking. No guard liner on the right-hand front. Exactly the same story on the left-hand front. Outer pad still looks like it's got meat on it. No guard liner. Front wheel bearing feels good. No strut leak. Moving to the left rear. No guard liner. Outer pad looks like it's got plenty of meat left. No play in the rear wheel bearings, but rear wheel bearings are not common on Commodores. But also there is no screws holding in the side of the front bar. No screws holding in the rear bar. Going to the right rear, again, no guard liner. Surprise, surprise. No screws in the rear bar and plenty of pad on the outer pad. We do know it's got all new tyres on it. The left-hand side skirt's not bolted in or screwed in. Yeah, no screws. But anyway, we'll keep going up. All right, so come on a journey with me, guys. This is legit my first look under here as well. So it looks like we've got a 2.5-inch rear muffler of some description, which has got a absolutely booger welded 3-inch pipe going into the back of it. This thing has just got exhaust leaks galore. We do have a painted K-frame though. We've got rear CVs that are leaking. Petter's rear springs. We have a fuel filter. It's just flopping in the breeze. Looks like that's been on there for a while. Again, CV's leaking on this side too. So that's that. We have hose clamp exhaust hangers right next to actual exhaust hangers. So there's that. We have very badly torn, oh, my light's gone off. There we go. Very badly torn rear K-frame bushes in the cross member. But we do have new bushes in the arms with very, very loose bolts. So that's not surprising. This one looks like it's been tightened. We do have an AU tail shaft with an AU yoke. More loose bolts. It's fine. More booger welds. Did I make this exhaust? Must have. More booger welds. We have a cross member that's held in with 2 bolts, and it's coming away from the floor, which I'm sure is fine. We have almost no bolts in the bell housing. We've got the starter motors bolted in. We've got 1 bolt all the way up there. Yeah, wow. And the bell housing is actually starting to separate off the back of the sump. So that is absolutely terrible. We have front sway bar links that go to nothing because the front sway bar has been removed to clear the sump. Oh, geez, man. This is getting worse and worse. We have power steering rack is in hard contact with the sump. This is the cable that runs from the alternator to the starter motor, which is almost getting pinched in there, which is awesome. What else? Intercooler pipe is fouling on the sump. Turbo oil drain is leaking. Front section of the K-frame's been cut out. And obviously, as I said before, no front sway bar. Where do we start? So I've had a bit of more of a look around and a bit more of a think. I've found more stuff wrong, like missing sway bar link bolts, and the exhaust has been smashed together for clearance. But I have gone through and tightened up everything under the car that I could see that was loose, and I've put a spanner on almost everything, including brake suspension and stuff. Tightened up all of these lower control arm bolts. Just one of the steering rack bolts was loose, blah, blah, blah. I've ordered some bolts for the bell housing. So there are 8 bolts in total missing out of the, I think, 12 that they run. Converter bolts are all there, so that's good. I've put these little clips back on the steering rack just because it was easy. So basically where I'm at the moment is I'm starting to question the car side of things. The conversion side of things, engine and driveline, I'm still happy to invest a bit more time into. But the more I look, the more I see things like, the sill panels are really, really badly damaged on this thing. These sections of the floor pan are stoved upwards on both sides. We have a rust hole in the frame rail here, which is actually cracking down the frame rail. So to get this, if this car was to ever get on the road, the amount of work that would be involved in it would be exponential. Keep in mind, we've got interior trims that are missing, interior trims that are broken. We've got a sagged headlining. We've got, heaps. We've got check straps that are missing. We've got mirrors that don't work and stuff like that. So I am going to still spend a bit of time today and do some stuff. I'm going to start with doing a brake fluid flush. It's quick and easy, and the brakes on this thing are horrendous. So I've already dropped it down and sucked the brake fluid out, cleaned out the reservoir and filled it up with some new stuff. Got me brake bleeder set up, so we're going to do that first. Also, the car came with a transmission service kit and an oil filter, so we're going to go through and do a transmission service on it and probably do an oil change. Jesus. Slides are... Anyway. We'll do that. As far as transmission goes, I pulled the fill plug out of the side of the auto to check the condition of the oil. So to fill these things, you basically fill them with oil till oil comes out of that hole. Then you drop the car down, start them in neutral, let them run up to temperature, let the pump suck fluid up and send it everywhere, and then you keep filling from that hole. And if I stick this Allen key in there, all the way in there, it's only just on the bottom of the stick. So it is extremely low on oil. So we'll give it a flush, give it a service, but we'll start with brake fluid. Going through and bleeding the brakes. So far, every single bleeder has been blocked with mud. Anyway, almost there, it's getting clear. Alrighty, so even though I filled this transmission up with just over 2 litres of oil before I drained it, the fluid is really black and tarnished. So I'm just going to finish draining this thing. Then I'm going to fill it up with new fluid again, run the car for a bit, and then I'm going to drain it again, and then I'll do the filter inside, just to sort of give it a bit of a flush. So got the transmission filled and ran it for a bit, and now we're draining it again. Fluid is still dirty, but it's a fair bit better than what it was, and that's all that matters. So we'll get this thing all drained out, get the pan off it, and start cleaning it out. Pan's all cleaned out, as usual. I've put a bottle of the Lucas Transfix in it. New gaskets on. I've copped some slack from people saying that I shouldn't be using that stuff unless there's a physical problem with the transmission. I find these things are good preventative maintenance in BTRs and 4L60s. So do what you want. New filters in. So now we'll slap the pan on, fill it up with some fresh oil, get it all filled up. Righto, so that auto is pretty much full now. We're just gonna let it run for a bit, get up to temp. You can really hear how many exhaust leaks this thing has from everywhere. There, and there, and there, and there. Anyway, we'll get this auto finished up. Alrighty, everything is all finalised with the auto. Forgot to tell you as well, there was a little bit of a dent in the bottom of the pan, which I knocked out while I had it off. But that's all good and all done. I've got all of those bolts in the transmission belly housing too, so I feel a lot better about that. So last thing we're going to do is just spin an oil filter on it and dump the oil. So hopefully there's no big chunks of schmutz in it. New filters on. Some plug was really loose, so either they didn't tighten it or it's really stripped. I wonder if it's going to hit the K-frame. The oil stream. No, it misses, just. Yuck. Okay, from under the car, we are all done. I don't see us doing anything else under here. Good news is that some plug was just loose. It's not stripped. It's got to tighten up really well. Oil-wise, I've just poured off into here some Penrite 10W40 semi-synthetics. I'm just going to go with that. And I'll chuck in a little bit of the Maury's oil stabilizer as well. Let's just get it done. New oil's all in, just running it for a minute. And we're all done. I actually even went through and sucked out the power steering oil and filled it up with some fresh stuff just because it was a bit dirty, just for fun. So now I think I might take the thing just for another very quick road test, just to have a feel of the auto and a feel of the brakes. I've sat in the car before with the engine running. The brake pedal feels completely different. It's only going down about a third of the way now, not going almost to the floor. So yeah, we'll do that and I'll see you back here. Took it for a small drive just for a few minutes, and look, yes, it does actually drive quite a bit better. Transmission shifts actually really, really well. And a lot of the knocking and stuff that was under the car is not there anymore because stuff is tightened up. But speaking honestly with you guys, I think this car is too far gone to get it back on the road. Look, there's quite a few options. We could spend a whole heap of money on it and turn it into a drift car, manual swap it, whatever. We could turn it into a burnout car for not a lot of money. Cooling system is going to need to be improved somewhere or another because there's still blocks of hoses and stuff everywhere. But we could probably overcome that by putting a VZ LS radiator in it, because then the hoses and stuff would go around in the right configuration. But all of that involves money. I still want to do something with this car, which is why I was happy to do some work on the engine and driveline. But whatever we do with it, it's going to have to be pretty cheap, unfortunately. So yeah, let us know what ideas you guys have, and we'll see what the future holds. One way or another, you will see this thing again. We just don't know how that's going to look. But if you've enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe. If you want to see more content similar to this or quite different to this, check out our other videos on our channel with some of the stuff we do. And until I see you in the next video, be amazing to yourselves and each other.